So our slogan, our motto, every mom is an athlete, it means a couple things. So one, to us, it means we want to help empower women to get back to doing whatever activities it is that they love to do. And for some, that's maybe just walking, right? But what we want to say is that you're a mom and you can do all the athletic things you did before, maybe differently, right? But you can do them. And so we want to, in whatever ways I can, I mean, really, this is like all I do in my life, right? With my like
Mhm.
chiropractic practice and my postpartum plan, and now this bra company or sportswear company. Like, I just want to help you do whatever it is that you want to do athletically. So that's one piece. And it's cool now that we're seeing some of these professional athletes, a lot of professional athletes, beach volleyball players, soccer players, tennis players, basketball players, having kids and come back to this high level of athletics. I just think it's so inspiring and amazing. But the other piece of that, which speaks more to what kind of you're asking about, is that being a mom is an athletic endeavor. And I don't care if you don't think you're an athlete, you are doing athletic things. First of all, birth is like the most athletic event that has ever been created, you know? And so you went through that process. And whether you use drugs or had a C section or had a completely natural vaginal birth, whatever, no matter what, you went through an athletic process and a traumatic process. So that's one piece. The second piece is that what we're doing on a daily basis with our babies and with our kids is athletic. So when you think about bending over to put your baby in the crib, picking the baby up out of the crib, that's a deadlift or a hip hinge pattern. So we can look straight into athletics and see, okay, that is actually a weightlifting movement. You
Mhm.
know, when you go to pick the car seat up and put it in the car and it weighs 30 pounds, the baby in it, you're, doing essentially you're lifting up off the ground and pressing the car seat. So some of these things that we do every day, I mentioned getting up and down off the floor, you're doing lunges, just like regularly, these are athletic movements. And then you think about the mom with like the car seat and the toddler and the coffee and the cart and like the backpack and like all these things that
Mhm.
she's carrying and doing. And just like, not like it's no big deal because it is, but like as moms, we get used to doing that just like all day, every day. And that is super athletic to be able to stabilize in those positions and, balance and carry and push and pull. Those are all athletic movements too. So
Mhm.
that's the other piece of it that we want to consider is that you're an athlete whether you want to be or not.
Mhm.
And you don't have to necessarily lean into that if you don't want to, but the stuff you're doing with your babies and your kids are athletic movements. And we just want to encourage you to feel confident and comfortable in those movements.
Yeah, I love that. It's kind of like how you can view yourself, it's you can say
Hmm.
like, "Oh, I didn't do anything all day." And it's like when you actually look and break it down, how many things you did in one day. You did a
Yeah.
million things and how you took care of those around you. And yeah, it's definitely how you can kind of like angle your viewpoint, I guess. So I love that you say that
Mhm.
because I think especially in the postpartum, it's easy to, look at our bodies and be like, oh, it looks different than before, or I can't do
Mhm.
this, instead of saying what you can do and the things that you are doing and looking on the more positive side of things. I think we're so quick to like
Yeah.
judge ourselves and say like, oh, I can't do that. So
So quick. And yeah, it's nothing to do with how you look, really. It's not. It's all to do with feeling confident and stable and comfortable in your body at whatever size it is. And like you said, giving credit to all that you're doing, because I think you're right that we don't, even with a brand new baby and you're just at home and like all you're like, oh my gosh, all I did was like nurse this baby all day long. And my house is a disaster and like nothing else got done. There's nothing to eat, like nothing. Well, okay, you also just produced breast milk all day long. Like imagine what your metabolism is doing, so there's all
mhm.
these pieces I think that you're right that we're not giving credit to. And so it's also a piece of that.